this episode of the Fast Lane Car, it's all about brand spanking new cool cars. That's right, we review 3 different, yet 3 very cool new vehicles. First, Nathan and I head down to New Orleans, where we get behind the wheel of the brand new RC 350 F Sport. Not the RCF, but the RC 350 F Sport.
Now I know what you're thinking. No V8? That's crazy. That's just nutty stuff because you can't make that type of noise out there. You're right, but at the same time, they expect this vehicle to be its main seller.
Next, it's on to the TFL test track, where Nathan gets behind the wheel of the brand spanking new BMW 228i, and of course, finds out how fast it is not only from 0 to 60, but also around the track.
Woo! The brakes are just extraordinary.
And finally, it's a wet and wild adventure as both Nathan and Emme head to San Diego to check out the brand new Chevrolet Trax.
As a passenger, I haven't touched it yet. Emme won't let me. Is that it's actually relatively comfortable. It's a good ride. It's relatively quiet.
So, sit back, buckle up. The Fast Lane Car is on now.
Still a very good steering feel because of the weight. There's not a lot of road feel. I mean, come on, it's Lexus. You're not going to feel a whole lot, but it does a really good job simulating a feel, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the 2015 Lexus RC F Sport.
That's right, not to be confused with the RCF. This is the RC F Sport, which means that this has the V6 engine and a sporting package on top of it.
So what should we do with it, Nathan?
I think we should take it for a ride.
You know, it's all electric steering, right? So
Yeah.
they can do whatever the hell they want with it. I'm gonna sound like an old geezer, but dude, I miss the times when it was just a direct, linkage between the wheels and the steering wheel, when you could actually feel what was going on with the wheels. Now there's nothing there, right? It's just a steering wheel and an electric motor and yada yada.
Yeah, a lot of electronic gizmos that lead up to controlling the front wheels, but it's not bad on this at all. This is a lot different than the RCF, and this is really where it is different, and that's because this is a 306 horsepower V6 that puts out 277 pound-feet of torque. And it's a 3.5 liter. You might recognize it from other products that Lexus builds. It's a great engine, don't get me wrong. And it's hooked up to, in this case, a 8-speed automatic transmission going to the rear wheels. However, you can get all-wheel drive, which is awesome. But if you do get the all-wheel drive, you only get a 6-speed automatic transmission. With that being said, there are a couple things I wanted to point out real quickly. For one thing, acceleration on the RC, this one here, the regular one with F Sport package, it's not bad.
No, it's good.
He gets up and goes, like right now.
I was just shooting it from the outside when you took off. It sounds good, and it looks fast. This is one sexy car, and of course the interior is also sexy. Everything is stylish, everything is soft, everything is elegant. The one little fly in the ointment for me is they've lost that little mouse pad they used to have, and now there's a touch pad. And you know what? The mouse pad I thought was easier to use, but otherwise all the buttons fall to finger, all the controls are very well executed. It's a fun car to drive, and it's a fun car to drive and be seen in. Yeah, I think there is nothing whatsoever wrong with the way this thing gets down the road, either in terms of comfort or in terms of speed. It's obviously a Lexus, so let's face it, it's an older demographic that's buying these cars, right? Mm-hmm. And yet at the same time they're trying to bring in younger buyers. And so how do you do that? You make a car that's sexy, you make a car that's stylish, and you make a car that's fast, but you still have to keep those older folk. I gotta be one of them now.
Yeah, that's right. I was holding off.
I know you were. So I preempted you. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
The M Sport package gives you some really slick wheels and a couple other goodies, but what it doesn't give you is a fake front end, and that's because there are no extra hood scoops here. Nothing like that at all. And the trunk is big enough for at least one large golf bag. I think I might be able to squeeze back there, but I'm not going to because I'm at a Lexus event and we want to get invited to another one. But
none of your shenanigans.
Yeah, none of my crap. But it's a relatively roomy trunk for a small sports car. Smallish sports car.
Yeah. You know, it'd be great to get this into Colorado and spend a week with it, because I find that after having driven it for, 20 minutes, you don't really get to know the car. We're giving you our best impression, but it's limited. So we really need to get, hopefully, an all-wheel drive one in the snow and, see how it is to live with this thing.
Now I know what you're thinking. No V8? That's crazy. That's just nutty stuff, because you can't make that type of noise out there. You're right, but at the same time, they expect this vehicle to be its main seller amongst you guys. And you know what? I think it will be a good seller because it starts at around 42 grand, and that is a bargain for a car with this much technology.
And for all of you folk up in the Northland, it can be had in all-wheel drive.
That's right.
And it's got better fuel economy.
Oh yeah.
Lower starting point, what's not to love? But on the TFL scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, you'll have to wait till we get it to Colorado.
Folks, I'm not going to lie to you. I've never been a fan of the 2 Series in terms of its overall look. It's just a little too stubby for me. However, when you get the M package, which has these just amazing looking wheels, they're 18-inch, things change. It starts to pop. And if you spend $650, you're able to get the brake package with these really cool looking blue calipers. It pops even more. So suddenly it looks, well, really good. From the front, it looks great because it looks like a 3 Series. However, from the side, I still have a little issue with the droopy look here, and then of course the stubby tail. However, once you get behind the wheel, the car looks completely different. The rear end is very light. Doesn't mind getting a little out there, but this traction control system is more than happy to reel it in without slowing you down around the corner. I love BMW's traction control systems. They're so much easier on the driver. They put a lot more faith in him or her. Folks, what you're looking at here, yes, it's not the 6-cylinder. Don't freak out. It's a 4-cylinder. In fact, this is the 2-liter 4-cylinder. It puts out 240 horsepower, 255 pound-feet of torque. It's hooked up to an 8-speed automatic transmission, wish it was a stick, to the rear wheels. There is an all-wheel drive version of this as well. Now, before you guys go crazy on that, keep in mind that it's a very light nose. It's not as nose heavy as the other one. So around the track, this baby flies. It weighs about 3,345 pounds. It's not crazy, but it's still not as light as I would like, but hey, who am I to talk about lightness? Now, here's the really cool part. With all of this goodness, this baby gets combined 28 miles per gallon. So you kind of have a little bit of everything in a car that is super, super quick. Pretty cool. Here we go. Best run yet. 5.74 seconds. That is more like it. See that? Tires warmed up a little bit. I didn't push it too hard. It took care of everything on its own. And yes, indeed, this car is faster than I am. BMW rarely disappoints when it comes to interiors, and this is another very good example of a fine interior. All of the components are top end, everything feels good to the touch. But I wanted to focus on one thing in particular, and that is a steering wheel that was built by the hand of God, the God of cars. It's an M steering wheel, which comes with the M package, and it fits your hands perfectly. It has just the right amount of squeeze and give. I could hold on to it all day. Now, I know that's a joke because I hold on to lots of things all day long. But when you take that and then you combine the rest of the vehicle with the excellent seats and perfect support, you have, oh God, I'm gonna say it, a great driving machine. All you have to do is just lift a little tiny bit off the accelerator and it'll take care of the rest. You really don't have to worry about over rotating unless you're doing something really stupid, like I just did there. Then the rear end steps out, traction control clamps down, and everybody is happy because the car is not in the dirt, rolling over, on fire, with big flames coming out. Awesome. Nothing makes you feel better than a good lap and a great car. Oh, this thing drives so nice. What do we got, amigo?
What do you think? A little bit sideways.
A lot sideways. Bit. Yeah, 14?
No.
111. $44,450. That is a lot of money, but for a BMW, actually it's not that much, especially for what you get for the money. On the buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it scale, I will give this car a lease it, only because I would prefer a manual transmission and it's a little tight inside. Don't forget, folks, this is a small car, so if you have large people that you want to put in the back seat, yeah, good luck. You can only hold 2 people back there, and they better be small. Special thanks to IMI Motorsports for hosting us here. By the way, if you go online to IMI Motorsports, you will find that you can drive your car here as well for a small fee.
It's Emmy Hall at the Fast Lane Car. I'm here in beautiful, almost beautiful, pretty rainy, okay, it's kind of cold and gray, Southern California with the 2015 Chevy Trax. Now under the hood, we've got a 1.4 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, which is good for 138 horsepower and 148 pound-feet of torque. Now power goes to the front wheels via a 6-speed automatic transmission, but remember, you can get all-wheel drive in this car. EPA fuel ratings are 26 in the city and 34 out on the highway. And check out how little this engine is. It's so tiny. It's like this little 4-cylinder and this giant engine bay. I love it. Little Ecotech, you're so cute. Hi Nathan.
Hi Emmy.
¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien, porque estamos en San Diego.
Simona say. So, yeah, hi folks. We are in San Diego, California. Beautiful, sunny, rainy, foggy. So, it's a bummer, but you know, hey, at least in Denver, it's 40 degrees right now and light snow, so I'm not going to complain too much.
Yeah, bad day in California is better than a good day anywhere else.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I kind of like Denver, but anyway.
Hi. Oh, you're not interested in me at all, huh? There's way other smells that are more exciting.
Bye-bye. Okay, send all of your animal postcards to Emmy Hall, care of TFL Car Docs.
I want a dog so badly.
So, this is the deal. We are in the 2015
Chevy Trax.
Chevy Trax.
We are in the top of the line model, although this is just front wheel drive.
That's right.
You can get all wheel drive in these cars as a $1,500 add-on, but
That's right.
we unfortunately just have the front wheel drive for right now.
The Chevy Trax is actually kind of high. This is one of the highest roofs out of all of them. Now, what that gives you is a commanding view of the road and really, really good headroom. Great. But what it also does is it gives us a much higher, larger feel, even though the wheelbase and everything is actually relatively short. It's almost the same length as a Chevy Sonic. Now think about that. This is a SUV, basically, right? Well, that's where you'd be wrong. It's really more of a station wagon. Now, the lines overall look pretty good. It's not ugly. The front end is kind of old-fashioned Chevy. You can definitely tell from the grille and everything else. But look down there. You only have about that much room in terms of ground clearance. This is not an off-roader. Now, yeah, we're gonna get it up to Colorado and see how it does in the snow and mud, but taking it off-road, yeah, you're not gonna be going over very much with that. We were seriously thinking about going into these little mud areas, and we noticed, and this is how you can tell really quickly if this is the front wheel drive one or the all-wheel drive one, is look at the rear brakes. If they're disc brakes, then it's the all-wheel drive one. If they're drum brakes, which this one has, it's the front wheel drive one. Now, I know you guys are freaking out saying, oh, drum, what? Is this 1984? No. This is a very cheap way to build a car that's very cheap. How cheap? Well, let me put it to you this way. This is the fully loaded everything except for the $1,500 all-wheel drive option.
System.
$26,805, and
Yep.
with that you get the sunroof, the leather, and
you get all the shebang.
Yeah.
And if you want to get the lowest trim line, that still comes in at right around $20,000. So that's a pretty inexpensive little crossover that, you know, I mean, we've been in the car now for a few hours, so, you know, we can't give you crazy detailed driving impressions, but, you know, for a little car that's only got 138 horsepower, goes pretty well.
This is a pre-production vehicle, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but you know, we are talking about a relatively inexpensive vehicle, so there are panel gaps. I can see them with the door right over there.
Yep, right there.
This big
right
gap in the box. The stuff I'm pointing to is basically the dash.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's still...
I'm not sure what this is for.
It's to look good. It's the chrome.
Yeah, I know, but there's no, that is definitely all form
You
and
could
no
put
function.
I could put a cell phone in there. Look. Ta-da! Cell phone.
I would never put my
So
phone
you
in
put
there.
your cell phone there, and then when you get in the accident, it flies, and it'll hit you and actually take your eye out, and then you'll be hanging from the socket.
Have you seen my phone? Okay, this is my phone. Do you see how broken that is?
That phone is so
I'm
heavy.
never gonna put that.
That is
I'm
so
broken.
you.
I'm broken. Like
No,
my
it's
phone.
not that. It's just like, you know, Adventure Girl. I mean, and mine is basically a Fisher-Price version because it has this thick cover. Roman said it more than once that I really need the largest, thickest possible thing to put around my phone to prevent from killing it. But Roman is the guy who drove over his phone. He drove over a
Did he
phone.
really?
He really did. It's the absolute truth. Overall, the interior is well laid out, but really hard plastics throughout. There are a lot of cubbies, especially in the doors, on the dash, lots of places to put things, which is really, really helpful. And then when you take the entire vehicle, given the fact that it's inexpensive, and you load it up with these leather seats, actually, it's a pretty nice place to sit.
I do like that the center stack is very simple.
Yeah.
But I think we should also point out that maybe the design's not so great because both you and I missed the heated seats for a good 2 hours.
Yeah. Now bear in mind, I mean, if you own the vehicle, you're going to figure that out
Right.
over the course of a few days, hopefully. But still, it's a minor thing. But there are a couple other things. Indeed, hard plastics. I like to be able to put my arm on a door.
And that hurts. That's like right on your elbow. That really hurts.
Yeah, it really wish that was something that wasn't so much of an issue. But what I'd like to say is that for people like Roman, Alta Conquer's older people, who have some issues, osteoporosis, whatever it may be, much easier for him to get in here with his walker and then sit down on the seat.
Fire you!
He's just gonna not put this in the video, and if he does, he's gonna get mad at me and do something horrible later on. But anyway, the point is that actually it's a pretty comfortable car to get into.
It is.
Awesome design. So you're able to reach back here
And smack your kid.
and smack the kid upside the head. Say, stop it! We'll get ice cream when I say we get ice cream. But what's cool about it, because it is, you know, the length isn't too terribly crazy, is that if you are a parent and you're driving along and your kid drops a sippy cup or a bottle or whatever, it's really easy to put your hand down and reach and actually touch the floor. I mean, and hand it to him. That's cool.
Yeah, I'll have to take your word on that because that is not necessarily my lifestyle.
I did not put you in that category.
I know, but...
So for Emmy's lifestyle, two kegs are going to fit right back there, no problem. Spare tire for her car, right over there.
Exactly. Thanks so much, y'all. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Hey, you can find us out on all the social medias, and be sure to go to tflcar.com for more news, views, and real-world reviews. Catch y'all later. Bye.
If you do that, the fans will love it. Maybe
Mr. Keyboard Commando will love it. Oh, poor Mr. Keyboard Commander.
He'll get over it. He's an okay. He likes me. I think. Maybe not. All right, ready?
Yep.